The stars looked different from this side of the galaxy. Commander Alex Rivera stood at the wide viewing window of the Earth Alliance vessel horizon, watching the unfamiliar patterns of light against the black. A small blue-green planet hung. In the distance, Zolax Prime, home of the first confirmed intelligent alien species humanity had ever made contact with. 3 minutes until the Zolaxian delegation arrives, Commander, said a voice behind him. Alex turned to see communications. Specialist Olivia Daniels standing at attention. Her uniform was perfect, her expression calm, but he could see the excitement in her eyes. This was history in the making. Thank you, Olivia. Is the welcome area ready? Yes, sir. Dr. Washington has triple-checked the atmospheric settings to ensure they match Zolaxian preferences. The gravity has been adjusted to 0.8 Earth normal. Alex nodded and straightened his own uniform. For 2 years, the Zolaxians had communicated with Earth through radio signals and data packets. They had shared basic cultural and scientific information, but always kept their distance. This meeting was the first time humans and Zolaxians would stand face to face. Commander, said the ship's AI through the overhead speakers, the Zolaxian shuttle is approaching Docking Bay 3. Alex and Olivia walked quickly through the corridors of the horizon. They met Dr. Elijah Washington and Security Chief Sophia Bennett at the entrance to the docking area. Sophia's hand rested near her stunner. A precaution, nothing more. Earth had decided to send an unarmed science vessel for first contact, but some security measures remained standard procedure. Remember, Alex said quietly to his team, the Zolaxians value precision and calm. No sudden movements, no raised voices. The airlock cycled open with a soft hiss. Standing in the doorway were 6 tall, slender beings. Their skin was a translucent blue that seemed to shimmer slightly under the ship's lights. Each had 4 long arms and a pair of multifaceted eyes that captured and reflected light like living gemstones. They wore simple white garments that flowed around their thin bodies. The tallest Zolaxian stepped forward. I am Ambassador Threll of the Zolaxian Confederation. We bring greetings to the people of Earth. The words came from a small device at the ambassador's throat, translating the series of clicking sounds the alien made into English. Alex stepped forward, keeping his movements slow and deliberate. Ambassador Threll, I am Commander Alex Rivera, of the Earth Alliance. Welcome aboard the Horizon. This is a historic day for both our peoples. The ambassador's eyes shifted, focusing on each human in turn. The other Zolaxians remained completely still, only their eyes moving as they studied the humans. Your message said you wished to establish formal diplomatic relations, Threll said. This is acceptable to us. We have been observing your transmissions for many cycles and believe humans have reached a sufficient level of civilization. Olivia felt a flash of annoyance at the condescending tone but kept her face neutral. This was too important for personal feelings. We have prepared a conference room for our discussions, Alex said. Would you like to follow me? As the group walked through the corridors, Alex noticed how the Zolaxians moved, almost floating, their steps barely making any sound on the metal floor. Several crew members they passed stopped and stared openly at the aliens. In the conference room, the humans sat on one side of a large table, the Zolaxians on the other. One of the aliens took out a small device and placed it on the table. A holographic display appeared, showing charts and data. This is our assessment of your species, Ambassador Threll explained. We have been monitoring Earth since your first radio transmissions reached our listening posts. Dr. Washington leaned forward, studying the display. Is this a threat assessment? The ambassador's translator made a sound that might have been a laugh. Yes, all new species are evaluated for potential danger. Your current classification is moderate threat, based on your history of warfare. However, the ambassador gestured, and the display changed to show human anatomy. After observing you directly, we may need to revise this assessment. In what way? Sophia asked, her voice carefully neutral. Your physical capabilities are modest, another Zolaxian said. This one's translator identified him as Science Minister Vex. Soft external covering, no natural defenses, limited sensory range, modest strength. Even your dental structures are inefficient. Alex heard Olivia shift in her seat. He knew she was fighting back a response to the alien's dismissive tone. We have managed well enough, Alex said diplomatically. Our adaptability has served us well on Earth. Yes, Ambassador Threll said. Adaptability appears to be your species' primary advantage, an interesting evolutionary path. The meeting continued for 2 hours. The Zolaxians asked detailed questions about Earth's governments, military capabilities, and technological development. They seemed particularly interested in human biology and medicine. As the meeting drew to a close, Ambassador Threll made an unexpected proposal. We wish to better understand your species. In our culture, sharing nutrition is a way to build trust. Would you join us for a meal this evening? Alex glanced at his team. This was not in the planned first contact protocol, but refusing might seem rude. We would be honored, Ambassador. Would you prefer to dine here on the horizon or on your vessel? Here would be suitable, Threll said. We will bring our own nutrition sources, of course. We are curious to observe your consumption rituals. After the Zolaxians left to prepare for the dinner, Alex gathered his team for a private discussion. Did anyone else feel like they were looking down on us? Olivia asked immediately. Dr. Washington nodded. They've clearly classified us as a primitive species. Did you notice how they kept referring to our limited development? Maybe we should show them some of our more advanced technology, Sophia suggested. The new fusion engines or the quantum communication system. Alex shook his head. No, let them underestimate us for now. This dinner is our chance to learn more about them while they think they're studying us. What should we serve? Dr. Washington asked. We know almost nothing about their dietary preferences. They said they're bringing their own food, Alex reminded him. We'll prepare a typical Earth meal for ourselves. Chef Garcia can handle the details. As they left the meeting room, Alex pulled Olivia aside. Did you notice anything unusual about the Zolaxians? Any nonverbal cues I might have missed? Olivia frowned. Just one thing. When Ambassador Threll mentioned the dinner, the others exchanged looks. I think they're planning to use the meal to gather more information about us. They don't seem to see us as equals. That could work in our favor, Alex said quietly. The most dangerous thing in any negotiation is to underestimate the other side. Neither of them could have guessed how dramatically the Zolaxians' assessment of humanity would change over a simple dinner. The kitchen area of the horizon buzzed with activity. Chef Maria Garcia moved with practiced efficiency, checking various pots and pans while her assistants prepared vegetables and set out plates. So these aliens have never seen humans eat before? Maria asked as Dr. Elijah Washington explained the evening's special requirements. Correct, Elijah said. The Zolaxians are very different from us biologically. From what they've shared, they absorb nutrients through their skin from special pastes. Maria wrinkled her nose. That sounds unpleasant. To us, maybe. To them, our way of eating might seem equally strange. Lieutenant Kevin Reyes entered the kitchen carrying a tablet. As the ship's cultural specialist, he had been researching Zolaxian society since first contact was established 2 years ago. I've got more information about our dinner guests, Kevin announced, and it's fascinating. The Zolaxians evolved from filter-feeding ocean creatures. Their ancestors never hunted or consumed other animals. Maria looked up from slicing carrots. Never? Not even small fish or something? Never, Kevin confirmed. Their entire evolutionary history lacks predation. Their ancestors absorbed microscopic nutrients from the water around them. As they evolved and moved to land, they developed ways to concentrate those nutrients into the pastes they consume now. Elijah leaned against a counter considering this information. So they have no concept of eating the way we do? No understanding of predator and prey? Exactly. Their society developed without hunting or farming animals. They farm plants, but only to extract nutrients from them chemically. They never actually consume the plants themselves. Maria gestured to the meal she was preparing. So maybe we should adjust the menu? Stick to plant-based foods? Before Kevin could answer, Security Chief Sophia Bennett entered the kitchen. Sorry to interrupt, she said, but I'm concerned about the dinner tonight. The Zolaxians might not understand our eating habits, maybe we should avoid animal products entirely. Serve only vegetables and fruits? Chef Maria looked at the beef roast she had been preparing to serve as the main course. I can make changes, but I'll need to know quickly. Kevin shook his head. I think we should be honest about who we are. Humans are omnivores. We eat plants and animals. Hiding that fact would be starting our diplomatic relationship with deception. I agree, Elijah said, but we should be prepared for their reaction. This could be shocking to them. Their discussion was interrupted when Commander Alex Rivera entered. How are the dinner preparations coming along? He asked. Sophia stepped forward. Sir, we were just discussing the menu. Given what we know about Zolaxian biology and culture, they might find our normal eating habits disturbing. They've never encountered a species that consumes other living things. Alex considered this for a moment. What exactly are you suggesting, Chief Bennett? Perhaps we should serve only plant-based foods tonight. Ease them into understanding human biology. Kevin shook his head. Commander, I believe that would be a mistake. The Zolaxians value honesty above almost all else. They'd likely see this as deception if they later learned we altered our behavior to manage their impressions. Alex looked at the chef's preparations, noticing the roast and various vegetables. Chef Garcia, what were you planning to serve? A garden salad to start, then beef with roasted vegetables and fruit tart for dessert. A simple but elegant meal. And we're certain the Zolaxians will bring their own food? Alex asked. Elijah nodded. Ambassador Threll confirmed they're bringing their nutrient pastes. They can't digest our food anyway. Alex was quiet for a moment, weighing the options. Keep the menu as planned, Chef. We present ourselves honestly or not at all. Humanity's omnivorous nature is fundamental to understanding our species. Sophia looked concerned but nodded respectfully. Yes, sir. I'll ensure security is prepared for any unusual reactions. Do you really think they might react badly? Maria asked. Kevin smiled slightly. They're the first aliens we've met. How would you react if you discovered they consumed their food in a way completely foreign to human experience? Point taken, Maria said, returning to her preparations. An hour later, as dinner approached, Olivia Daniels helped arrange the dining room. She placed name cards at each setting and made sure everything was perfect. They're going to think we're primitive, she said to Alex as he inspected the arrangements. Why do you say that? He asked. Did you see how they looked at us during the meeting? Like we were curious animals in a zoo. Ambassador Threll practically patted me on the head. Alex smiled. Let them think what they want for now. First impressions can be deceiving. Olivia adjusted a fork that was slightly out of alignment. What do you think they'll make of all this? She asked, gesturing to the table settings. The cutlery? The plates? They'll probably see it as quaint. Their technology is more advanced than ours in many ways. I researched how they eat, Olivia said. They apply their nutrient pastes to special patches of skin on their upper limbs. The nutrients are absorbed directly into their bloodstream. No mouth, no stomach, no digestive system as we understand it. Efficient, Alex commented, but completely different from us, Olivia added. I wonder what they'll think when they see us chewing and swallowing. Before Alex could respond, the ship's AI announced the arrival of the Zolaxian delegation. He straightened his uniform and nodded to Olivia. Time to find out, he said. The 6 Zolaxians entered the dining room with the same floating grace they had shown earlier. Each carried a small container that glowed with a faint blue light. Ambassador Threll approached Alex and made a gesture that the humans had learned was a Zolaxian greeting. Commander Rivera, we appreciate your hospitality, Threll said through the translator. We have brought our nutrition sources as mentioned. We're honored to share this experience with you, Alex replied. Please take your seats. The Zolaxians moved to their assigned places, examining the table settings with obvious curiosity. Science Minister Vex picked up a fork and studied it. Any implement for food processing? He asked. Yes, Elijah explained. We use utensils to help us eat our food in a civilized manner. The aliens exchanged looks that Olivia couldn't quite interpret. Was it amusement? Confusion? concern. As everyone took their seats, Chef Maria entered with her assistants carrying the first course. The garden salads were placed before each human. "This is a garden salad," Alex explained to the aliens. "Plants that we cultivate for consumption." Ambassador Threll watched intently as Alex picked up his fork and speared a piece of lettuce. The Zalaxians seemed to collectively lean forward as Alex raised the fork to his mouth, placed the lettuce inside, and began to chew. The reaction was subtle but unmistakable. The alien's skin color shifted slightly, pulsing with a darker blue tone. They exchanged rapid clicks that the translators didn't catch. "Is something wrong?" Alex asked innocently. "No," Ambassador Threll said after a pause. "We are merely observing. Please continue with your nutrition ritual." As the humans ate their salads, the Zalaxians opened their containers and began applying a shimmering blue paste to patches of nearly transparent skin on their upper arms. The paste seemed to vanish as it was absorbed. The main course was about to be served, and none of the humans could have predicted what would happen next. Chef Maria Garcia entered the dining room with her assistants. They carried large silver platters that steamed slightly in the cool air. The humans at the table smiled in appreciation at the aroma. The Zalaxians, who had no sense of smell as humans understood it, watched with their multifaceted eyes tracking every movement. "Our main course," Commander Alex Rivera announced. "Beef with roasted vegetables, a traditional meal from Earth." The platters were set down, and the servers lifted the covers. On each plate designated for the humans was a perfectly cooked piece of beef, pink in the center and seared on the outside. Around it were arranged carrots, potatoes, and green beans, all glistening with herbs and butter. "What is this beef?" Ambassador Threll asked, the translator making the clicking sound seem almost cautious. Dr. Elijah Washington answered, "Beef is meat from an animal called a cow, a large herbivore we raise for food." The 6 Zalaxians went completely still. Even the subtle pulsing of colors beneath their translucent skin stopped for a moment. "You consume other living creatures?" Science Minister Vex asked after a long pause. Alex nodded, picking up his knife and fork. "Humans are omnivores. We eat both plants and animals." As he cut into the beef, red juices flowed onto the white plate. A sound came from one of the Zalaxians that the translators couldn't process. It was high-pitched and seemed involuntary. Ambassador Threll's skin was now pulsing rapidly with deep blue and purple colors. "You tear the flesh of other beings with tools?" "Yes," Olivia Daniels said, trying to keep her voice casual. "These tools help us cut our food into smaller pieces that are easier to chew and swallow." "Chew and swallow?" another Zalaxian asked, the translator making the words sound strained. Alex put a piece of beef in his mouth and began to chew. The Zalaxians watched with what could only be described as horror. Their slender bodies seemed to lean away from the table. "We process food in our mouths," Elijah explained, seeing their reaction. "Our teeth break it down into smaller pieces and our saliva begins the digestive process. Then we swallow the food, sending it to our stomach where acids and enzymes break it down further." "Acids?" Ambassador Threll's translator squeaked. "You have acid inside your body?" "Yes," Elijah continued, warming to the scientific explanation. "Human digestion is a complex process involving multiple organs and chemical reactions. The stomach contains hydrochloric acid that helps break down proteins." Lieutenant Kevin Reyes noticed the increasingly distressed movements of the aliens. "Perhaps we should change the subject while we eat." But the Zolaxians couldn't look away. They watched in fascination and growing alarm as the humans cut, chewed, and swallowed their food. "How often must you perform this consumption?" Ambassador Threll asked. 3 times a day is standard," Sophia Bennett replied between bites. "Some humans eat more frequently, with smaller meals or snacks." This information seemed to disturb the aliens even more. Their skin now showed patches of deep purple, which Kevin recognized from his research as a sign of extreme stress or fear. 3 times daily, Science Minister Vex repeated. "You must constantly consume other organisms to survive?" "Yes," Alex said. Our bodies require regular intake of nutrients. One of the younger Zolaxians suddenly stood, its forearms moving in agitated patterns. It spoke rapidly in its clicking language. Ambassador Threll responded with sharp clicks before turning to the humans. Please excuse Scientist Null. This is unexpected information. Chef Maria entered with dessert, a simple fruit tart with berries and cream. She noticed the tension immediately. Is everything all right? Alex tried to smooth over the awkward moment. Our guests are learning about human digestion. It seems quite different from their own process. The chef placed the desserts in front of the humans. The Zolaxians watched as Olivia took a sip of her hot coffee, and then Ambassador Threll made a sound that caused all the humans to look up in alarm. You consume heated liquid? The ambassador asked, the translator unable to fully convey the shock in the clicking sounds. Yes, Olivia said, surprised by the reaction. This is coffee. We often drink it hot. The temperature is around 70 degrees Celsius. At this, one of the Zolaxian aides collapsed backwards in its chair. The others moved quickly, their long arms reaching out to steady their companion. Is he okay? Sophia asked, half rising from her seat. Security Officer Meal is overwhelmed, Ambassador Threll explained. The concept of voluntarily placing heated substances inside one's body is difficult for us to process. Our species is very sensitive to temperature variations. Alex set down his fork, suddenly understanding the magnitude of the cultural shock they were causing. Ambassador, perhaps we should end our meal and continue discussions tomorrow. This seems to be quite stressful for your team. Yes, Threll agreed quickly. That would be most appropriate. We have much to reconsider. As the Zolaxians prepared to leave, Science Minister Vex approached Elijah. Your digestive processes, they are common to all humans? Yes, Elijah confirmed. All humans eat this way, though our diets vary based on culture and personal preference. Vex's skin pulsed with deep colors. And your young? They also consume solid matter and break it down internally? Yes, Elijah said. Though babies start with milk and softer foods until their teeth develop fully. The minister made more clicking sounds that the translator didn't catch, then turned away quickly. After the Zolaxian delegation had left, the humans gathered in the conference room. Well, Alex said, that didn't go as expected. They were terrified, Olivia observed. Absolutely terrified of us eating. Kevin nodded. Think about it from their perspective. They've never seen a species that tears, grinds, and dissolves other living things to survive. To them, we're essentially walking digestive systems with tools designed specifically for breaking down life forms. And the coffee, Sophia added. Did you see how they reacted when Olivia drank it? You'd think she was drinking lava. Elijah was looking at his tablet reviewing information. According to their shared biological data, the Zolaxians can't tolerate temperatures above 45 degrees Celsius. It causes cellular breakdown in their tissues. To them, watching us drink hot coffee would be like watching someone drink acid. Which we also have in our stomachs, Alex added. No wonder they were shocked. The ship's AI interrupted their discussion. Commander, I'm receiving an urgent communication from the Zolaxian vessel. Put it through, Alex ordered. Ambassador. Threll's face appeared on the screen. The alien looked different somehow. The usual calm demeanor replaced with what seemed like agitated movements. Commander Rivera, the ambassador began. In light of new biological information, the Zolaxian Confederation is reassessing its evaluation of human capabilities and potential threat level. Alex frowned. Ambassador, I assure you we mean no harm to your people. Perhaps, Threll replied. But we must consider the implications of a species evolved to consume other life forms. Your biological processes indicate predatory origins that we did not fully appreciate until now. After the communication ended, the room was silent for a moment. Did we just get classified as dangerous predators because we ate dinner? Olivia asked. It appears so, Alex said, and I have a feeling this is just the beginning of their reaction. The next morning, Commander Alex Rivera woke to an urgent message from his communications officer. He quickly dressed and made his way to the bridge of the horizon. "What's happening?" he asked as he entered. Olivia Daniels looked up from her station. "Sir, there's been unusual activity from the Zolaxian fleet. Several more ships arrived during the night. They're now in a defensive formation around their main vessel." Alex frowned. "Defensive? Against what? We only have one ship here." "Against us, apparently," Olivia replied. "They've also been transmitting large data packets to other parts of the galaxy. Our systems can't decode most of it, but we've picked up repeated references to human biology." Lieutenant Kevin Reyes joined them, his expression worried. "Commander, I've been analyzing the transmissions we can decode. The Zolaxians are sending warnings about us to their allies in other star systems." "Warnings? About what?" "About humans," Kevin said. "Specifically about how we eat. They're describing us as internal processors and biological dissolvers. They seem particularly disturbed by our stomach acid and teeth." Alex couldn't believe what he was hearing. "They're afraid of us because we digest food? It makes sense from their perspective," Dr. Elijah Washington said as he entered the bridge. "The Zolaxians evolved without predation. Their ancestors never hunted or consumed other living things. The concept is completely foreign and terrifying to them." "But surely they've encountered other species that eat?" Alex asked. Elijah shook his head. "According to their shared scientific database, the few other intelligent species they've contacted all evolved from similar filter-feeding ancestors. None consume solid food the way we do." The ship's AI interrupted. "Commander, incoming transmission from the Zolaxian flagship." "Put it through," Alex ordered. Ambassador Threll appeared on the main screen. The alien's skin was pulsing with dark colors, and its movement seemed stiffer than before. "Commander Rivera," the ambassador began, "the Zolaxian High Council has completed its revised assessment of human biological capabilities. We are concerned." Alex tried to keep his voice calm and friendly. "Ambassador, I assure you that humans pose no threat to your people. Our biological differences may seem strange to you, but you consume the flesh of other living beings," Threll interrupted. "Your young are trained from birth to use specialized tools to more efficiently tear substances apart. You possess internal chambers of acid that can break down complex organic matter. You can consume substances at temperatures that would kill most life forms. These are not the traits of a harmless species. These are natural adaptations to our environment," Alex explained, "just as your method of nutrient absorption is an adaptation to yours." The ambassador's skin flashed with colors. "We have shared information about human biology with our allied worlds. Their scientific councils agree that your species represents a potential biological hazard classification far higher than initially assessed." Alex glanced at his officers, seeing their concerned expressions. "Ambassador, I hope this doesn't affect our diplomatic relationship. We came here in peace." "Perhaps," Threll replied, "but we would be negligent not to take precautions. We have reclassified humanity from minimal concern to extreme caution. A delegation from the Galactic Alliance will arrive shortly to conduct further assessment." After the transmission ended, the bridge was quiet. "Well," Sophia Bennett said finally, "that went well. We've been upgraded from harmless to extremely dangerous just by eating dinner." "The Galactic Alliance," Kevin said thoughtfully. "That's the coalition of species the Zolaxians mentioned in their data packets. Apparently it includes 12 different, intelligent species from various star systems." "And they're all coming to judge us based on our digestive system?" Olivia asked. Alex sat down in the command chair. "This is not how I expected first contact to go. We need to prepare for this delegation. Dr. Washington, I want you to compile all the information we have on the member species of this Galactic Alliance. Lieutenant Reyes, work with the doctor on cultural protocols." "What about meal times while they're here?" Sophia asked with a hint of sarcasm. "We'll have to be strategic," Alex replied. "If our eating habits are causing this level of concern, We should probably avoid eating in front of them until we've had a chance to explain our biology in scientific terms. 3 days later, a fleet of 6 ships arrived. Each was different in design, representing the various member species of the Galactic Alliance. A message came through requesting permission to send representatives to the horizon. "This is it," Alex told his officers as they gathered in the docking bay. "Remember, no sudden movements, no mentions of food or eating unless they bring it up first." The airlock opened to reveal the most diverse collection of beings any human had ever seen. Besides the now familiar Zalaxians, there were bulbous creatures floating in personal gravity fields, tall insectoid beings with multiple limbs, and small furry entities with large eyes. All of them shared one feature. None had anything resembling a mouth. A tall, silvery being stepped forward. "I am High, Counselor Zorn of the Galactic Alliance. We have come to evaluate the human species following disturbing reports from our Zalaxian allies." Alex bowed slightly. "Welcome aboard the Horizon, High Counselor. We are honored by your presence and hope to address any concerns you may have." The aliens followed Alex to the conference room, where displays had been set up showing Earth and human civilization. As they settled around the table, Alex noticed the aliens scanning the humans with various devices. "Let us be direct," Counselor Zorn said. "Our preliminary data suggests humans are apex predators with biological weaponry built into your very bodies. Is this assessment accurate?" Elijah stepped forward. "Counselor, humans evolved as omnivores, not pure predators. While we do consume both plant and animal matter, we are primarily peaceful gatherers and farmers in modern times." One of the insectoid aliens made a buzzing sound. "Yet you possess grinding stones in your food intake cavity and produce corrosive acids internally. These are predatory features. They are adaptations that allowed our ancestors to survive," Elijah explained, "just as your species developed unique adaptations to your environments." The discussions continued for hours. The aliens were particularly disturbed by footage from Earth showing humans eating various foods. They seemed unable to comprehend how a species could evolve to physically break down and internalize other organic matter. During a break in the meetings, Alex gathered his team. "This isn't going well," he admitted. "They see us as walking biological hazards." "It's ridiculous," Olivia said. "They're judging our entire species based on how we eat." "To them, it's not just eating," Kevin explained. "Think about it from their perspective. We tear flesh with specialized bone protrusions, dissolve it in acid, and extract energy from the remains of other living things. To filter feeders with no concept of predation, we might as well be monsters from a horror story." "So what do we do?" Sophia asked. "We can't change human biology to make them more comfortable." Alex thought for a moment. "No, but we can help them understand it. We need to shift the conversation from fear to science. Dr. Washington, prepare a detailed presentation on human evolution and biology. Lieutenant Reyes, find examples of peaceful cooperation in Earth's history." "And what about the fact that we're apparently terrifying space monsters now?" Olivia asked. Alex smiled slightly. "Sometimes being underestimated is an advantage. Yesterday they thought we were harmless. Today they think we're dangerous. Neither is completely true. Let's help them see the full picture." As they re-entered the conference room, Alex noticed the aliens clustered together, watching a new video on one of the screens. It showed a human child eating an ice cream cone. "Your young consume frozen substances for pleasure?" Counselor Zorn asked, sounding both horrified and fascinated. "Yes," Alex replied, "and that might be the perfect place to begin our discussion about the remarkable adaptability of the human species." 3 months had passed since the dinner that changed humanity's place in the galaxy. The Horizon now orbited Earth, where the first official Galactic Alliance embassy was being established. Commander Alex Rivera stood in his dress uniform, watching as the alien ships descended through the atmosphere. "Nervous?" Olivia Daniels asked, standing beside him on the observation deck. "A little," Alex admitted. "I never thought our first major diplomatic achievement would be convincing aliens we won't eat them." Olivia laughed. "Well, Dr. Washington's presentations on human biology were very effective. Who knew explaining digestion could be so important to galactic peace? After the initial shock of discovering human eating habits, the Galactic Alliance had sent scientists, not soldiers. Their curiosity had eventually overcome their fear. The human ability to consume such a wide variety of substances and survive in different environments was unlike anything they had encountered before. "Commander," the ship's AI announced, "the Zolaxian ambassador requests your presence at the landing site." Alex and Olivia made their way to the large field where the embassy buildings were being constructed. 6 different alien structures stood in a circle, each designed to accommodate the unique biological needs of its species. The human embassy building stood among them, deliberately designed to look welcoming rather than threatening. Ambassador Threll approached as they arrived. The Zolaxian skin now showed calm blue patterns, very different from the agitated colors of their first meetings. "Commander Rivera," Threll greeted. "The High Council is pleased with the progress of our cultural exchange program." "As are we, Ambassador," Alex replied. "Our scientists have learned much from yours, and I believe the feeling is mutual." "Indeed," Threll said. "I must admit, when we first observed humans consuming organic matter, we misunderstood what we were seeing." Lieutenant Kevin Reyes joined them carrying a tablet. As the newly appointed head of interspecies relations, he had been working closely with the alien representatives. "The latest survey results are very positive," Kevin reported. 87% of Galactic Alliance citizens now view humans as fascinating rather than terrifying. That's up from just 12% 3 months ago. "The educational materials have been effective," Threll acknowledged. "The videos explaining human evolution and biology have helped many understand that your consumption methods are natural adaptations, not weapons designed to threaten others." The group walked toward the central meeting hall where representatives from all species would soon gather for the official opening ceremony. "I was surprised by how quickly attitudes changed," Alex said. "Your adaptability impressed us," Threll explained. "Once we moved past our initial shock, we recognized the advantages your biology provides. Your species can survive in conditions that would kill most of us. You can consume foods that would be toxic to other life forms. You can withstand temperature variations that would destroy our cellular structure. Those same features that made you fear us," Olivia noted. "Yes," Threll admitted. "What we first saw as threatening, we now recognize as remarkable evolutionary traits. Your digestive processes, while still somewhat disturbing to watch, represent an incredible biological achievement." Inside the meeting hall, Dr. Elijah Washington was showing a group of alien scientists diagrams of the human digestive system. The aliens were clicking and buzzing in what seemed like excited discussion. "They've become quite fascinated with human biology," Sophia Bennett commented as she joined the group. As head of security for the new embassy, she had worked to develop protocols that made both humans and aliens feel safe. "Particularly your young," Threll added. "The concept of your children changing their nutrient processing capabilities as they develop is unprecedented in our experience." "You mean losing baby teeth and growing adult teeth?" Alex asked. "Yes. Your young shed their initial grinding implements and grow larger, more efficient ones. This process has no parallel among known species." Chef Maria Garcia approached carrying a tray of small appetizers. The aliens still brought their own nutrient paste to official functions, but they had become more comfortable being in the same room while humans ate. "I've prepared some visual displays of Earth foods," Maria explained. "The Alliance representatives requested information about the variety of substances humans consume." The aliens gathered around the display screens, showing various meals from around Earth. They still couldn't comprehend how humans could eat such different foods, from raw vegetables to cooked meats to sweet desserts. "Your species consumes approximately 12,000 different plant and animal species," one of the insectoid aliens noted. "Our combined Alliance species consume fewer than 50 specialized nutrient sources." High Counselor Zorn entered the HFY hall, his silvery form gleaming in the light. All conversation stopped as he moved to the center of the room. "Representatives of Earth," he began, "when we first encountered your species, Many feared your biological processes. Your internal digestion seemed aggressive and dangerous to beings who had never experienced such methods of nutrient absorption. The counselor's voice remained even, with no translator needed as he had learned to produce human audible sounds. However, in our rush to judge based on biological differences, we overlooked the most important trait your species possesses: your remarkable adaptability. While we evolved to fill specific environmental niches, humans evolved to change and adapt to virtually any environment. Alex nodded respectfully to the counselor. Our differences have much to teach each other. Indeed, Zorn continued, the Alliance has officially reclassified humanity. You are no longer categorized as extreme caution, but as essential ally. Your unique biological processes provide perspectives none of our species possess. After the ceremony, Alex found himself alone with Ambassador Threll on a balcony overlooking the embassy grounds. There's something I've been wanting to ask you, Alex said. During our first dinner aboard the Horizon, what disturbed your people more? The fact that we eat other organisms or how we do it? Threll's skin pulsed with thoughtful colors. Both were shocking, but if I must choose, it was your casual acceptance of your biological processes that truly frightened us. You consumed heated liquids, broke down flesh with your teeth, and dissolved food with internal acid as if these were not extraordinary abilities. They aren't extraordinary to us, Alex said, just as your method of nutrient absorption seems normal to you. That is the lesson here, Threll replied. What one species considers ordinary, another may view as remarkable. Your eating habits, while still somewhat alarming to watch, represent an evolutionary path none of our species took. Different, but no less valid. Alex looked out at the embassy, complex where humans and aliens walked together, studying each other and learning. So our place in the galaxy was determined not by our technology or our military strength, he mused, but by our dinner table. Yes, Threll said, the translator adding a hint of humor to the clicking sounds. In the end, the most dangerous thing about humans turned out to be something you do 3 times a day without even thinking about it. As the sun set over the first interstellar embassy on Earth, Alex couldn't help but smile at the strange path that had led humanity to its place among the stars, not through war or technological superiority, but through the simple, everyday act of sitting down to eat.